What Would You Do show. Today's topic will be about animal abuse.
We will see how some people react to the scenario of animal abuse, and we will ask a couple of strangers about their thoughts and beliefs about animal rights.
Let's see how it goes. Remember that you can watch our show every night at 8 p.m. at NBC. Thank you.
When people think about animal cruelty, their minds usually start with an image of a dog chained up outside in the cold without any food, or some kind of dog fighting ring where pit bulls are raised to viciously attack one another. The truth is, there are millions of animals that are being abused by people who aren't actually intending to do the wrong thing. Animal cruelty includes but is not limited to abuse, neglect, animal testing, misinformation, and sheer ignorance. Let's take to the streets and interview some people.
Hello there, I'm Maria, and I'm from the show What Would You Do? I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about a certain topic.
Hello, I would love to do that for you.
The topic of this episode is about animal rights. Now, are you for or against animal abuse?
I'm completely against animal abuse.
What is your reason for being against animal abuse?
Well, I am against it because of my faith. I am a Catholic, and it says in the Bible that us humans should respect all of God's creation.
Can you elaborate more on what the Bible says?
Of course. Well, in the Bible, God says that all life is sacred, which includes the animals He created, and He does not like unnecessary suffering. He also said that humans are supposed to be stewards looking after creation. The Church has made sure to spread awareness that how we treat animals is a measure of our own humanity, that violence inflicted on animals is inevitably linked to human against human violence. Compassion is a big enough idea to encompass animals as well as humans.
Are there any Bible passages that relate to the subject?
Yes. One passage is Proverbs 12:10, which states, "The righteous care for the needs of their animals, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel." A righteous person is one who believes in God and loves Him completely, which includes the whole of His creation. In such a state of godly righteousness, people come to truly know the animals in their care, which includes their feelings, emotions, and desires. They would want to give the animals their means to regard the lives of all animals. For all true sympathy and care must grow out of knowledge, and it is a requirement of all people towards animals. Anyone who lacks compassion or empathy for the well-being of all animals is considered to be evil and wicked.
If you had to pick 2 of the 7 virtues to relate to the topic, which one would you choose?
I would choose charity and justice. I chose charity because it is the greatest virtue of all that empowers us to love God above all things for His own sake and our neighbors as ourselves for the love of God. Charity enables us to observe the commandments and love everyone, even our enemies. If we can compassionately love humans as God tells us to do, why can't we love animals? They deserve the same respect and treatment. I also chose justice because this virtue helps us respect the rights of all humans. If we can respect the rights of humans, we can respect the rights of animals as well.
If you had to choose one of the 7 deadly vices to relate to the topic, which one would you choose?
I would choose pride. Pride can be defined as a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction in an achievement, an accomplishment, or in someone or something else. It is an inwardly directed emotion that can easily offend others or something, and carries with it a connotation that implies an inflated sense of one's own worth or personal status, and typically makes one feel a sense of superiority over others. Unfortunately, some people believe that animals are inferior to them, and they think they can abuse them as they like. This is not the case. No animal deserves to be harmed or abused.
Thank you so much for allowing us to interview you. We greatly appreciate you telling us your input on the matter.
All right.
After interviewing a stranger and seeing their position on animal cruelty, we turn over to our next event where we will have an actor on the street attempting to abuse their dog. We want to see if anyone will try to stop the act. The moral object of this scenario is the physical abuse of a dog that is not directed to a true good. The circumstance is that the owner of the dog is getting annoyed by it and believes it is inferior to him and thinks he can do whatever he wants to discipline him. The intention is that the dog owner wants to very roughly discipline his dog.
Hey, what are you doing?
None of your business. Get lost.
Are you saying that's not the way to train an animal?
Get lost. It's none of your business what I do with this worthless animal.
Are you psychotic? I'm gonna call the police. You deserve to be locked up for life for abusing this animal.
That dog doesn't listen to me. It deserves to die.
Hey! He's just an actor. You're on the show, What Would You Do? And we're trying to see what reaction people would get to see an animal being abused.
Oh.
Well, this whole situation was just an accident.
Oh, thank the Lord. I didn't know what I'd do if I had let him abuse the animal.
What made you stop him?
Well, I'm against animal cruelty. I'm a Catholic, and my faith tells me that animals have just the right to be respected just as humans do.
Are any principles of the Catholic social teaching that relate to animal abuse?
Well, one principle that relates is care for God's creation. We show our respect for the Creator by our stewardship of creation. Care for the earth is not just an earth slogan. It is a requirement of our faith. We are called to protect people and the planet, which includes all animals. We are living our faith in a relationship with all of God's creation. Animals do not deserve to be mistreated and abused. They need tender love and care.
The question that usually comes up is, why do humans abuse animals? The sad truth of the matter is that there is no targeted reason people do what they do. Instead of treating animals like they're living creatures with emotions and feelings, some people view them like throwaway things that are put here for their pleasure. Unfortunately, dogs are the most common victims of animal abuse, accounting for 64.5% of all documented cruelty cases that are media reported. After seeing that last scenario, we realize that some people are brave enough to stand up for our beloved four-legged friends. Now we go back to the streets and interview some more people about animal cruelty.
Hello there, my name's Maria. I'm from the show What Would You Do? I wanted to ask you a couple of questions on certain topics.
Hey, I would love to answer those questions.
The topic of this episode is animal rights. Now, are you for animal cruelty or against animal cruelty?
I'm against animal cruelty.
What is your reason for being against animal cruelty?
I'm a very religious person, and Catholicism says that we should love and care for God's creation as equally as the people that live on this earth.
I see. Is there anything in the Bible that talks about or deals with treating animals kindly?
Yes, actually Ecclesiastes 3:19-20 says humans and animals have the same breath. One dies just like the other. All of them have the same breath of life. Humans have the advantage of their animals. All of life is pointless. All life goes to the same place. All life comes from the ground, and all of it goes back to the ground. This means that animals and people are the same in God's eyes, as they should be the same in our eyes. Animals deserve to be treated equally with love and care.
If you had to choose two of the 7 virtues to relate to the topic, which one would you choose?
I would choose the virtue of fortitude and prudence. I choose fortitude because it's a virtue that gives us the strength and courage to stand firm for our beliefs and do what is the right and moral thing to do. We need to use this virtue to stand up to animal abusers and proclaim that animals are just as equal as humans. I also choose prudence because it is the virtue of practical wisdom and of responsible decision making. It also helps us to select the right means of achieving what is good, which goes back to the topic of courage.
If you had to choose one of the 7 vices to relate to the topic, which one would you choose?
I would choose war. Wars can be defined as extreme anger, rage, hatred, or a need for vengeance or revenge. People who suffer with war issues may refer to physical abuse of themselves or others, murders, or even genocides. In this case, the abuse would be towards animals. No animal deserves to be hurt because of another person's rage. It's not necessary.
Well, thank you for letting us interview. We greatly appreciate putting your input on the situation.
Thank you for inviting me to come. Thank you.
Animal abuse is an epidemic that is not going away without people doing the right thing and speaking up. The only way we can start to correct the problem is by deciding to take a stand and let people know that it's not okay to mistreat or neglect animals.
Well, this is the end of tonight's episode. We hope you have learned a little bit about animal cruelty and how Catholicism views the subject. Now ask yourself before we go, what would you have done in this scenario in the streets? Would you have stood up to the actor, or would you have allowed him to abuse the animal? Are you against animal cruelty? Well, viewers, we hope you have enjoyed the show. Till next time.